All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue where we left off. We just finished shading in the third dimension of this side and basically completed this side of the wall. We're going to work the back side that's going to have double doors, and then we're going to have the last side of the other side of the wall. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that all our doors are the same height. So we have this line that's really light, that was the top of our door. When it hits this corner right here on this wall, that is the size of the door, the height of the door. So we're going to make a straight line that goes across right here that is parallel to the top, to the ceiling, and that's going to be the height of our doors on this side. I'm going to draw this really light, and you should draw it pretty light too, because it's going to come out, not all of it's going to stay, but that's going to be the height of the doors. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle here that's going to be our double doors. I'm going to come in about leave, I don't know, about a finger space from the edge. Okay, so that's about the width of my finger there. I'm going to measure that up right here. Make sure this line is straight. Now I'm going to make a dark line here. This is going to be my door frame. Okay, and again, a finger space on this side. Try to keep it even on both sides. We want this line to be straight, and we're going to touch that top line that we just made, and we're going to go straight, nice and dark. And then we can keep this top part. This is going to be the top. This is the door frame of our double doors at the end of the hallway. So I'm going to go ahead and darken that up. So once we have that, and we have all these lines that are in here, we can erase those in a minute. We're going to make another little rectangle inside so we have a door frame. So again, kind of leave a little bit of a space. And since this wall is facing us, we don't have to worry too much about all the angles for the 1-point perspective, but we will when we get to this wall over here. So we'll do like this. We'll go straight across, try to keep the lines parallel and even. And then down on this side, parallel and even. So that's going to be our double doors, and we'll put the details in a little while, but we're going to need this vanishing point out here to finish this wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start over here with the top of the door. Okay, so the top of the door is going to be lined up with this line. That, see how this line went straight down and it hit there? So it's going to hit on the same over here. So we want to line up the top of the door with that corner right there that we just put in with that straight line that went across. So vanishing point lined up with that corner right there, right on there. And this is going to be the line that we're going to use for the top of the door on this side. So we can go lightly from the vanishing point, get in here. This is a light line right there. So this is going to be the top of the door. And we can choose, the doors can be exactly directly across each other, or we can space it out. I'm just going to kind of put it around the same area. Okay, so we want to go ahead and, I think we used about a finger space from the corner. So I'm going to go straight up and down right here from the top of the door here. This is the door frame. We're going to go here, make a nice dark line. And then we're lined up about right there. So let's go ahead and go across here. And we'll go about right there. We're going to go straight, make sure our line's straight up and down. Okay, if you make your lines tilted, your door is going to look like it's falling. Okay, so this has to be a vertical line. We're going to go right in here. I'm going to make this line dark. And I'm going to keep the top part right here from there to there. That's the top of the door frame. And I can make that part dark. So all your other lines that you were making before, they're nice and light. They're guidelines. So we got that. We're going to go ahead and leave a little space and make the door frame. So we're going to go here. Actually, we can go ahead from the top. Let's do this. Let's go here and leave a little space at the top. And it goes to the vanishing point. We'll go from here to there. And then these lines will go straight down. I think that's about straight. pretty straight. I went a little crooked. And this is going to go straight down. And then we'll go ahead and make, you can see this line's really crooked. I'm going to go back and make sure I put that in there straight. So when you're working with one point perspective, it's pretty important to make sure that you use straight lines. All right, so that looks much better. Then right here, we're going to go ahead and make a little horizontal line. It's going to pop out right there. And I'm going to erase the bottom because I'm going to need a space for the that's not true. That stays there. This is going to go down, and we're going to stop to leave a little space for the baseboard. So we'll go here, follow this straight down, leave a little space for the baseboard. And in order to get our baseboard, we're going to do the same thing we did here. So we follow this line here, it goes there, it attaches there. So that line's going to go straight across, and that's going to be the baseboard on the other side. So I'm going to get the top of that, and it should be straight, and I'm going to use this way so I can see the distance. And we're going to go straight across from here to here, and that's going to be where our baseboard is at. I won't go through the door frame, I'll go around the door frame. And that's going to be right here. That's our baseboard on the ends. And then the baseboard is going to come through here. So it needs to go from the vanishing point. It's got to hit that top corner right there. And then it'll keep coming this way. So we go vanishing point, top corner. And then we'll bring this way. So vanishing point, that goes here, straight. This will keep. This will keep. And then this part right here goes like this. Something like that. Oh yeah, because this needs a little space right underneath. It goes from the vanishing point to that corner there. And those pretty much touch over there. Fill those in, fill this in, and fill this part in. We just added a third dimension. And now we'll add a doorknob right after we finish shading here. And since the doorknob is on this side of the door, when I'm facing that way, it's going to be on this side of the door. So we'll try to have these pretty even. So we want to go in the middle of these two, so it's about right here. And we're going to go ahead and make a long circle. And then this time the C is coming backwards. It's like a backwards C. So we'll make it a little darker. And then you can add a little bit of right there, and that'll be our doorknob on that side. All right, so we're pretty close to being finished with this door side on this side. Next thing I'm going to do is right underneath the bottom of the door, above the floor, that's the floor line right there. So right above, I'm just going to make it a little bit of a thicker line so it looks like the door has, like, you can put something underneath the door. So it'll look like that. So only where the door is, we're going to thicken the line a little bit. And we'll do that to both sides. And that will be the end right there of this part. And then we'll work the double doors. So now we've got everything that we want on here. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is erase. We'll go ahead and erase everything that's in here because we don't need it anymore, because we're going to work on the back side, which is flat looking at you. When you're looking at it from here, from this angle, going that way, that is looking straight at you, so it's flat. When you're looking at the sides, they go from big to small because of the distance that it has to show. So we can kind of erase these guidelines, and then the next thing you're going to do is we're going to work on that back door really quick, and we'll add a little bit of shading as well to this stuff so it doesn't look so plain. Not too much shading. So all we're going to do is we're going to just add a line right down the middle. So it looks like to me this is my middle line, and it kind of evens out on both sides. So right where my middle is at, I'm going to go ahead, let's see, 2, 4 piece, yeah. I'm going to make a line that's going to go straight up and down right here. And that's going to be my double doors, okay? And I will go ahead and make a parallel line that's going to go straight across here. It's not going to touch the edges. It's not going to touch the edges. Okay, and then I'm going to make a small rectangle. It's going to be like for the push doors. So you make another right on top, and these can go ahead and attach, make a rectangle. Okay, and then right above it, you can go ahead and make a little bit of a thin line, and it looks like that. I mean a thick line. So it kind of shows that there's a little space there, gives a little bit of a third dimension. If you want to, you can also draw a square in here for a window. Just want to make sure your bottoms are parallel and the sides are parallel to the edges, so these have to be vertical lines. Okay. You want them to be the same size, so you want to have them level. And you want the bottoms to be pretty level, so again, go ahead and line up here. Use your rulers. And get your 2 windows in there. You can make them little lines to make it look like a hallway. And make sure your corners are darkened up. Corners are darkened up a little. You want the top line of the square to be dark. You don't need any of these lines right here. So all your little guidelines you can erase, you don't need them. And basically that's 1-point perspective of a hallway. You could, there's different little things you can add a little bit of shading on here, just kind of go on your lines. Don't go all outside the lines. It's kind of on your lines on the door maybe. You can do that on your door frames, on the baseboards. You just gotta rub right on. Don't go all crazy, just right on the lines, and it'll just kind of move the lead that's already in there. And then, of course, these are forms, so we want to go here, get that on there. You might want to go a little on the corners. That will kind of help show that little back wall. Even shade the back wall, maybe. You can do that on the doors. And just that right there made a big difference. But shading this back wall could also, since the light is coming in this way, it'll be the one that gets the least amount of light. But of course, we'll have lights in the hallway. And the next thing I'm going to do is just darken up the bottom of these doors as well. And if you wanted to put a light, it would be, I don't know if we should do it, but it would basically, it would go horizontal, straight across. So I'm going to leave a finger space here, and I'm going to go straight across. The sides of the lights would be going to our vanishing point. My vanishing point was right here. I think I remember where it was at, because my lines here is about right there.